If you would, state your name for the record, who you're with, and you may begin your testimony and your
Caroline
position on the bill.
I apologize. Caroline Roberts with Children at Risk. Thank you, Chair Colcourse and members of the committee. Thank you for this opportunity to testify in favor of House Bill 451. Texas has long been at the forefront of anti-human trafficking laws. This legislation will build on that, and it provides us the opportunity to actually get ahead of the harm before our children are victimized. Children in custody, as you've already heard, are particularly susceptible due to their histories of trauma, instability, and lack of consistent support networks, and traffickers actually exploit this in their grooming and recruitment of those children. Without systematic screening protocols, numerous victims remain unidentified despite being in our systems of care. Our current approach remains predominantly reactive instead of proactive. By the time trafficking victims are identified through investigation, substantial harm has already occurred. By getting ahead of the harm, this also is a more fiscally responsible way of allocating our limited resources, not to mention it's the right thing to do for children. As you've heard, we already have the tool in place. We also have infrastructure covering about 95% of the state through the child sex trafficking teams, CSA advocacy teams. If a child is identified as clear concern, they have resources and supports in place for them to support that child. While we commend the department for screening children in these jurisdictions, we want to extend that to all children. And the reality is that in 2023, DFPS only screened about 336 children. That's about 1% of the children in care that year. And TJJD screened over 30,000 children, about 57% of the children that came into juvenile probation that year. Texas possesses the tools. We have a cost-effective, evidence-based approach that builds on our existing leadership around human trafficking, and this is the next step. We are transitioning to prevention. We are also fulfilling our moral obligation to protect these children who are in our care.
Thank you. Rhonda?
My name is Rhonda Kirkendall, and I'm here representing the Fort Bend Anti-Trafficking Collective. I'm the former anti-child trafficking consultant to Texas CASA, where I wrote the See It Guide to be used in CASA programs across the state. Today, I work for the Fort Bend County District Attorney's Office, and I'm creating a task force in Fort Bend County. So as we've already discussed, this is a quick 5 to 7 minute tool. It's an information integration tool, and they use intake processes, case files, colleagues, child protective services, juvenile probation, all of these different stakeholders to complete the See It. There are 8 indicators that are covered, and in those 8 indicators, those questions, some of them are over the last 90 days, and only 7 of them for the lifetime of the child. Once you finish this tool, you'll have a no concern, possible concern, or clear concern. It is not intended to be a one-time assessment. We know that as children and youth begin to be more familiar or comfortable with their service providers, they may share continued victimization. So this tool is meant to be done more than one time. Allies Against Slavery has what's called the Lighthouse Platform, and they have a person identification number that allows these multiple files to be linked together. We do know that there is training already in place. So the See It training, DFPS is already covered in 5 of the largest counties in Texas. Other See It training is done by the Office of the Governor, the Texas Alliance of Child and Family Services, and also Unbound Now. It's already been covered what happens with clear concerns, but what happens with those possible concerns? There is a beauty in working in the prevention space, and so we have CSA advocate agencies across the state of Texas that have put in places to address possible concerns. One of those is Unbound Now's Early Intervention Program, and so they work on building rapport, determining goals, and completing the KC Life Skills Assessment Tool. All of these are working upstream as well. We do have resources here in Texas. Texas has been at the forefront with Texas CASA in addressing this with resources.
Thank you, Rhonda. And if you would, state your name for the record, who you're with, and your position on the bill, you may begin.
Yeah, my name is Tori Tipton, and I am the current anti-trafficking consultant for Texas CASA, so I took the reins over from Rhonda. It's an honor to partner with these 2 women on this bill. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Tori Tipton, as I mentioned, and I have over 12 years of experience in human trafficking prevention. I'm here to express my strong support for the proposed human trafficking screening bill that mandates universal screening for youth within care. As you've heard already, human trafficking is a devastating issue that disproportionately affects our youth, especially those in care. These young individuals are often in precarious situations that expose them to a higher risk of exploitation. Implementing a standardized screening process is imperative. By doing so, we can swiftly identify victims and connect them with the immediate assistance and resources they so desperately need. A few key benefits of the bill, as I see them, are first, as we mentioned, early identification is crucial. Effective screening protocols will help us identify at-risk youth before they become victims. In my experience, early recognition can lead to timely interventions, which are essential to stopping trafficking before it starts. Second, this bill fosters collaboration amongst various agencies, obviously including DFPS and TJJD, but also law enforcement and service providers, including Texas CASA. This coordinated and unified effort creates a comprehensive support system and common understanding of trafficking risk that will allow us to effectively meet the complex needs of human trafficking victims. Finally, implementing systematic screening will give us invaluable data that informs our policies and prevention programs. Understanding the true scope of trafficking in Texas will allow us to develop targeted strategies that effectively combat this pressing issue. I encourage you to support it and mandate universal screening. Thanks for your time and your commitment to Texas.
Members, questions, anybody? Senator Hancock.
I would just say, if you are in Fort Worth, I invite you to come to our Unbound Now. Robin and I were at the facility last week, and it's you will be impressed with the work they're doing there.
Excellent. Members, any other questions? Thank y'all so much for being here today. It's the chair's intent to leave House Bill. We'll get used to that. Good to have House bills coming over. House Bill 451 pending. I did not adopt. Members, if we can, I'm going to back up and make sure we adopt